Texas versus France. The epic showdown. Introduction. In this corner, Texas. Don't mess with Texas, is their internationally known slogan, which ironically started as an anti-littering campaign. Weighing in with 28 million people, a land area of 700,000 kilometers squared, and an economy of $1.6 trillion a year. Many of the cities in Texas got their names from famous Texans, including Stephen F. Austin, who was an American impresario given permission to operate a colony within Mexican Texas. American immigrants to these colonies would help Texas break away from Mexico, and after a brief stint, roughly 10 years as an independent country known as the Republic of Texas, Texas joined the United States. And in this corner, France, liberté, égalité, fraternité. In English, this means liberty, equality, and brotherhood. This is the slogan that became popular at the end of the 17th century as the monarchy gave way to the French Revolution. Weighing in with 67 million people, land area of 640,000 kilometers squared, and an economy of $2.8 trillion a year. Under the short emperorship of Napoleon Bonaparte, France controlled a large portion of Europe. In order to get some cash for his warring, Napoleon sold France's North American territory to the young United States. Oops. Napoleonic France was eventually defeated by the Russian winter and an alliance of European nation Britain, and brought back down to size. Round 1. Land area. Texas totals nearly 700,000 square kilometers, and France stretches to get to 650,000 square kilometers. So Texas is actually a little bit bigger than France. West Texas is a great deal of open desert. I went to school just a hop over the border at the New Mexico Military Institute, and I know it's mostly empty desert. Hot, empty desert. However, France's eastern border is prone to be invaded by Germans. So, advantage, Texas. Don't mess with Texas. Round 2. Population. France has 67 million people. Texas has a lot of people compared to the rest of the states in the United States with 28 million, and it's growing. France has a high level of immigration, and their long-cultivated diversity showed in their domination of the 2018 World Cup. Texas also has high levels of immigration, though the diversity perhaps isn't as well integrated, but it does support the regional economy. Texas's most populous metropolitan area is Dallas, with a collective population of 7.3 million people, home to the Dallas Cowboys. France's most populous metropolitan area is Paris, with a collective population of 12.4 million people. And I don't know what sport they play in Paris. Round 3. Economy. The entire country of France generates $2.8 trillion in economic activity a year. The state of Texas generates $1.6 trillion in economic activity a year. France gets a surprising amount of income from tourism. with almost 24 million yearly visitors, many going to see the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral. For almost 2 decades, Texas has led the United States in exports, including and primarily energy, with Houston considered to be the energy capital of the world. People visit Texas as well, more for business conferences than to see the Alamo. I've seen it. It's all beaten up. They could at least fill in the holes with some spackle. Advantage? Texas. Don't mess with Texas. Round 4. X Factor. Old Sparky versus the Halifax Gibbet. Old Sparky. The electric chair was invented as a way to use electricity, long before electricity was viable for powering homes or lamps or anything else. Texas used their Old Sparky electric chair from 1924 through 1964 to execute 361 prisoners. It was built by inmate craftsmen. The electric chair was also used in The Green Mile by Stephen King. Halifax Gibbet, the guillotine, was invented and introduced to avoid the inaccuracies of a hungover, axe-wielding executioner. And if they weren't hungover, they might be inaccurate, just for some other reason. Maybe they get some bird poop in their eye. You do not want a miss in this situation. So the guillotine was considered humane. Halifax Gibbet was the name of a guy who introduced the law that designated the guillotine as the means of capital punishment. During the French Revolution, La Madame Guillotine was used to execute royalty, including Queen Let Them Eat Cake Antoinette. Advantage? France. Split decision today, Bob. What did you think? Well, I really think Texas is too hot. Yeah, but France, too close to the Germans. What do you think about that, Bob? Texas is, it's really hot, Bob. And, well, it's full of Texans. Thanks for joining us. In our next match, California versus Japan.